Oh man, I'm so glad I forgot to go deep dive about Aroldis and started talking about Class A and all those other things that don't matter. Because I got to have that epic moment with Murphy. Hope it was worth it. He was pissed. I got scratched, but that looked like a pretty cool. What do we call those? What did I do to you guys? What did I just do? Oh, what's that term? I hate when people do it. I clickbaited you. He's not in the video. I cannot. The other cat, Mystic, like he could hang for a little bit. Murphy was not. That wasn't him like excited to be on camera. That was put me down. So Aroldis deep dive. So sad. I won't rant as much. This will be quicker, but more analysis. So sad what happened. So sad. So I've been a Yankees fan since I was born. I'd say on average, because they're out of market team, I watch about 20 games a year. There have been times when we had MLB extra innings and I watched more, times I watched less. On average, I watch about 20 games a year. I watched every game since Judge hit 59 home runs and a lot of Severino starts mixed out throughout the year. I was impressed with how he looked this year. I've always believed in Nasty Nestor. Jarrett Cole got paid $324 million. So I trust he's good at stuff. Severino's kind of a wild card. I always believed he was really what would determine our success, how good our bullpen would be, random hitters like IKF, Donaldson, and our catchers, and then most importantly, Severino. So here I am not talking about Aroldis again, but just kind of pointing out that I do watch a fair amount of games, and never once in the past 5 years have I heard anyone mention Chappie rules. Apparently, Aroldis Chapman does his own thing. Oh no! The most legendary fireballer of all time has his own training regimen. It works. He threw a baseball 106.1 miles per hour and only started getting hurt this past year. Jordan Hicks, flamethrower, love the dude. Filthy sinker, more movement than Aroldis. Actually filthier than Aroldis. Never plays baseball, always hurt. It's tough to throw that hard. Joel Zamaya, played for a year and a half. Anyone who throws over 102 miles an hour doesn't play for very long. Aroldis Chapman played for 13 years. His regimen works. Apparently, the reports are the Athletic are reporting with their super cute title, Awoldis, like AWOL, because he didn't show up to workouts. People have been getting annoyed with Chapman and his own specific workouts, as it's like if you were doing your own thing and ignoring us, but you're performing better and you're a legend. Sorry. Then you can do whatever you want to. Well, his numbers tailed off a little bit because he's like 35 years old. It doesn't mean like his workouts aren't working. He's just a human who has it should have happened a long time ago. So I can understand them not loving the Chappie rules, but it shouldn't be like, he's so annoying for doing this. He's been doing it for his entire career, apparently, and it never got mentioned in broadcasts. Michael Kay, our broadcaster, is one of the best broadcasters out there, never mentions the Chappie rules. It isn't chapping people's skin that badly, not that big of a deal. So he gets this tattoo, which is infected. He's an idiot, doesn't look into it, and has to go on the DL. That's annoying. I get being mad about that. That sucks. But the Chappie rules and maybe his bad attitude and being annoyed he's not the closer, I think a lot of people would be annoyed they're not the closer. Like, I do. I don't think Josh Hader is happy that he moved to San Diego and just sucks all of a sudden. Like, I think a lot of professional athletes have egos and struggle with benching. Derrick Rose coming off the bench and being a six-man. People are like, oh my God, that's so amazing Derrick is doing this. It's not expected. Like, we don't expect top tier athletes to fall off and struggle and just handle it with grace. We applaud it when it happens. So I'm not saying it's okay that Chapman is a butt munch, but it's also not the end of the world. Don't leave him off the roster. If you guys are already going to leave him off the roster, that's fine. I know not showing up is bad, but I also think they could have handled it in-house and talked to him and be like, bro, come to practice. Like, you're not here. You have no reason not to be here. We might have left you off the roster anyways. I get that you're mad about that, but don't tell people about it. Like, just like when Draymond punched Jordan Poole, don't release that video. I'm not saying what Draymond did is okay. I don't care if Jordan Poole says something bad about his mom. Like, you can't punch your teammates in the face, but it happened. move on. Don't tell people about it. And I'm just really unhappy with the way the Chapman thing played out. If we don't want to bring him back next year, because he's probably still going to ask for more money than a slightly above average reliever, that's fine. But I don't think you should burn bridges. And I do think there's that like leader mentality thing, and maybe he's not like a leader. Like he actually kind of has always had like a sour look on his face. He may not be a leader per se, but he's a presence. Sitting there with those bullpen guys, those guys revere him. I'm sure Jonathan Loastiga loves impressing and shoving and showing Chapman what he can do. I don't think Oswaldo Cabrera is excited to show Tim Locastro and Marwin Gonzalez what he can do. I really hope Tim Locastro and Marwin Gonzalez don't hear this. I don't hate them. I've actually heard great things about Tim Locastro. He actually maybe deserves a roster spot. He's got that thing I'm talking about, that grit that provides for the team. But I just don't think Marwin Gonzalez does. I see the Yankees are pretty cliquey. Judge is always with Rizzo and the other giant dude, Giancarlo, always together. I just don't see Locastro and Marwin as like super entrenched on the team. Whereas Chapman's been there for years. He's like a part of the culture. Even if they don't like him, he's that guy who's there. And like, I really do think people want to impress legends. And I do believe he's one of the most legendary closers of all time, not just because of his numbers, but what I was saying in my last video about Tyler Glasnow, that intimidation factor. He's one of the top 5 most intimidating pitchers of all time, closer or reliever. Quite possibly number 2 or 3 after like Randy Johnson and Bob Gibson mound lowering. So I just think at the end of the day, he should be there. I think people, the other team could be scared. He also, like, as I was saying with Greg Weissert, you put him up in a mop-up situation, and if that energy really gets him going, then he might be able to just kill it. And I forgot to look it up before the video, but I'm pretty sure Aroldis has, because Aaron Hicks does as well. Apparently, they were saying Aaron Hicks. Wow, I thought it said Aroldis Chapman's career is over. It says Yankees' career is over. Apparently, Aaron Hicks can't hit at home, which is funny because that's like the easiest park to hit in. But let's see Aroldis' split stats this year. I thought I heard something that he's really bad at home because he's been unhappy in New York and he pitches better on the road. If that's the case, you just use your other pitchers at home and you have a dude who kills it on the road. So let's see. Righties hit 198 against Aroldis with a 721 OPS. Lefties hit 162 with a 485 OPS. He's literally still a dominant lefty specialist. So he may not have that great control, but he's a dominant lefty specialist. We only have 2 lefties, Wandy and Lukey. So he should have been on the roster. Yeah. He had a 1.75 whip at home this year, and he had a 1.18 whip on the road, 5.06 ERA at home, 3.98 ERA on the road. So literally, make up with this dude, call him and be like, yo, sorry that you're sad you're struggling and having a life struggle and crisis. We want you to be a left-handed specialist on the road. And now you may think that's a waste of a roster spot, but guess what? So is Marwin Gonzalez. Mic drop. I do wish Marwin Gonzalez hears this. Yeah, I'm pissed. It turns out I'm like more mad about this than the Peraza thing, because the Peraza is like, oh, he's young, maybe he can't handle it. Chapman's been there. Like, he's pitched in the playoffs. He can still dominate lefties on the road, apparently. And we're supposed to win at home. So it's like, if you're confident you're going to win at home, and then you're like, oh, how are we going to win on the road? Well, we have this dude who's 6'4" and throws 97 miles an hour. Sure, he doesn't throw 102 anymore. He still throws 97 to 101. Like, come on. His average fastball velocity was 97.7 miles per hour this year. That's not like far and away his worst. It's tied for the worst. In his second year, that's how hard he threw. When he's like, oh my God, Aroldis Chapman, this guy who throws so hard. That's literally how hard he threw in his second year. Dude is 34, about to turn 35, and he debuted at 22. He's throwing as hard as he threw at 23, 24, at age 34. That's incredible. The dude is incredible. He should be on our team. His ERA for the year is 4.46, minus 0.2 WAR. Not incredible, but again, There's probably a bunch of situations in there where he's facing righties, and at home, if we only see him as a reliever on the road versus lefties and crappy right-handed hitters like Isaiah Keener-Falefa. Sorry, I should have said Marwin Gonzalez, but he's a switch hitter. He wouldn't have been facing him. Tim LoCastro. Then yeah, he'd be an asset. And I truly don't think Marwin Gonzalez and Tim LoCastro are going to play a large role in this series, especially with pinch running not being an issue when most of your team swings for the fences. So say Harrison Bader walks. You can't pinch run for Harrison Bader. Say Higashioka walks. You pinch run LoCastro steals, IKF gets a single. Boom, that works. That's one of the only scenarios where it works. Every other play on our team has a chance of hitting a home run. So if and you can't pinch run for everyone. Like, who the hell can you pinch run for? You can't pinch run for most of those dudes. You can't pinch run for Judge, Torres, Rizzo, Donaldson. They're too good. Can't pinch run for Bader. He's fast and plays defense. Can't pinch run for Oswaldo. Can't pinch run for IKF. He's fast. So only people you can pinch run for are the catcher, I guess Rizzo. You can pinch run for Rizzo, and the DH. You can pinch run for Giancarlo. So there's like 3 people on the team you can pinch run for. But if you have a home run hitter batting, you can't. It's like scary. The analytics say you don't steal with a home run hitter batting, because also moving from first to second doesn't help you if you hit a home run, especially in a double. Also, like a double with pretty much anyone on the bases, like Giancarlo's not super slow. If you hit a double with Giancarlo on first, he can motor around and score. So I just don't see the value that much of a pinch runner. I told you I wouldn't rant. I'm doing it. I'm excited for this series. I'm really excited for this series. But yeah, I think we dogged Aroldis. Even if he was being a dick, I think you just got to sit him down and be like, yo, you're not on the team next year. You can do whatever you want. We don't care. You want to win a World Series. You don't want to be at home right now. You play for this. You play baseball. We pay you to play baseball. Not just are you someone that we pay to do it, but you live for this. You want to be one of the best ever. The best time to make your name is in the postseason on the Yankees. And again, like, we expect to win at home. We need help on the road. So he could help us on the road. I'm just really disappointed how all this went down. And again, even if he just sucks, let's take the him making the roster out of it. Let's talk about people being annoyed with Chappie rules. This guy was on your team for years. This dude slayed. Like, let me look up his career stats on the Reds and on the Yankees. Come on, internet. You can do this. You can do this. I can't. He was good, dude. He was good for the Yankees. His career in Cincinnati, 6 years, 2.17 ERA. Yankees, 7 years, 2.94 ERA. So, not as good. Not as good. This is whip. Whip was 101, and for us, it's 114. But that was good. Saves, same. 155 for them, 153 for us. So yeah, not like super elite. But his FIP's actually even better than his ERA. His career ERA is 2.48. His career FIP is 2.34. So he pitched well. Does it show career FIPs? His FIP for the Yankees was a lot worse. It was 1.97 on the Reds and 2.89 for the Yankees. But again, 2.89 is good, man. 7 years with a 2.94 ERA. Like, that's baller. Like, he's like a borderline Hall of Famer on just the Yankees alone. So he deserves to be treated better than that. Like, veterans or legends are supposed to age with grace. Like, Trevor Hoffman was allowed to keep his closer role the entire time, even though he was thrown like 90 at the end and was not nearly as good. Like, I know in his last year, he did have a really good year, but for a couple of years there, I think like Heath Bell was there. People were like, yo, Heath Bell should be the closer. And they let Hoffman do it out of respect. So Hoffman was a stand-up dude. I get that, and played his whole career for the Padres, but Chapman deserves the respect of at least not being dogged. So I'm just really unhappy with how this went down. I should have ended it with the mic drop, but yeah, I really believe he should be a lefty specialist, probably in both, but at least on the road. And again, it shouldn't have gone down like this. Cashman's talking about him in the past tense. Like, what if Wandy and Lukey get hurt and we win? If both of our lefty pitchers get hurt, we literally need him. So don't talk about it in the past tense. Don't burn bridges ever. The Yankees are always so, I don't have much to say about this, blah, blah, blah. I'm Derek Jeter. I'm Aaron Judge. I'm super boring. Like, don't have opinions. Be the Yankees. Be the Yankees. Like, why are we having opinions all of a sudden? Like that's actually like I can't even realize how bad it was. It's really bad how bad we're treating him. He deserves better. And the Yankees are going away from our character. If you're gonna like start talking crap about players and running off the mouth and having opinions, and let Harrison Bader grow his hair back. Like you can't play it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If we want to be the classy organization who always does everything right, who has sex with supermodels and gives them gift baskets afterwards, then we should treat our players as class as well. And I don't like how we treated Aroldis Chapman, and he should be in there over you know who, Marlon Gonzalez. Also, I hate when you press end stream. I'm like, all right, I'm done. And then you have to like wait a second. And there's a second. It's like, are you sure? Actually, it makes sense because if I press the button on accident, it would stop. So I should probably edit this out, but I'm not going to. Marlon Gonzalez should not be playing. Mic drop. Bye.